Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying attention to the NFL news cycle lately, you already know that the Philadelphia Eagles are at a critical juncture. After making a deep playoff run last season and coming agonizingly close to reaching the Super Bowl, the buzz around the team is hotter than ever. And this recent move, or rather, the recent workout that the Eagles hosted on Monday, has everyone talking. The Eagles aren't just resting on their laurels. They're out here actively exploring ways to get even better, to tighten up their roster, to find that extra spark that could propel them to another Super Bowl appearance. And one name in particular that's sparking a lot of curiosity is Quez Watkins. Yes, you heard that right. Quez Watkins, the former Eagles wide receiver, was among the players the team worked out on Monday. Watkins, a guy who spent 4 seasons in Philadelphia, is now trying to find his place back in the league after bouncing around a bit. He was a 6th-round pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, selected out of Southern Miss by the Eagles, and he's been through a lot since then. Watkins made his debut with Philly in 2020, and over those 4 seasons, he became somewhat of a fan favorite. His speed, his ability to stretch the field, it's what drew the Eagles to him initially, and he showed flashes of that potential during his time here. In total, Watkins played 49 games, 25 of those as a starter, and racked up 98 receptions for 249 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's not a bad stat line for a 6th-round pick. In 2021, he was the team's WR2 behind Devonta Smith, which was a significant role for a young guy coming into the league. But as the team added A.J. Brown to the mix, Watkins found himself pushed down the depth chart to WR3, where he was expected to contribute in a different way, mostly as a depth option and a speed threat. And honestly, he did his job pretty well. But like many NFL stories, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Watkins' Eagles' journey ended on a bit of a sour note, a costly drop in the Super Bowl LVII loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. That moment was tough, no doubt, and it's something he's probably looking to turn around if given another shot. In 2023, Watkins battled injuries, missing 5 games, which didn't help his case. After that season, he signed a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers in April 2024. However, things didn't pan out as planned. He was cut from the Steelers roster last August and spent the rest of the season on their practice squad, trying to stay relevant and showcase his talent to other teams. Then, in January, he signed a futures contract with the Arizona Cardinals, a move often made by teams to evaluate players for the upcoming season. But just last month, Arizona released him. So, here we are, with Watkins actively looking for a new team, and the Eagles seem to be eyeing him once again. But Watkins isn't the only player the Eagles looked at on Monday. The team hosted a mini-combine of sorts, bringing in several free agents to see if they could add some depth or perhaps find a hidden gem. Among those trying out were Mike Hilton, a cornerback with experience from the Steelers and Bengals, KJ Osborne, a wide receiver from the Vikings, Isaiah Foskey, a defensive end from the New Orleans Saints, Jamin Davis, a linebacker from the Commanders, Ladarius Henderson, an offensive lineman from the Texans, and Kadeem Telfort, an offensive tackle from the Packers. It's clear the Eagles are casting a wide net, evaluating talent across multiple positions, but the potential return of Watkins is especially intriguing given his familiarity with the team and what he could bring if re-signed. Now, let's take a moment to analyze what this means for the Eagles heading into the season. Philadelphia's offense, especially their receiving core, is built around Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown, both dynamic playmakers. But depth is always a concern in the NFL, especially at wide receiver, where injuries and drops can change the course of a game in an instant. Watkins, with his speed and experience, could be a valuable addition, especially if he's able to recapture some of that spark he showed in his earlier years. The Eagles are known for their smart roster management, And re-signing a familiar face like Watkins could be a strategic move to add depth without disrupting the chemistry already built. The team's offense last season was among the best in the league, thanks in large part to Jalen Hurts, dual threat ability, and the talented receiving group. But with the NFL constantly evolving, teams are always looking for that extra edge, that player who can turn a game on its head with one big play. Watkins could be that player if he finds his rhythm again. It's also worth noting that the Eagles' coaching staff has shown a willingness to give chances to players they know and trust, especially if they can fit into their scheme and contribute on special teams or as a situational receiver. Looking at Watkins' past performances, he's shown he can be a reliable target when healthy. His speed makes him a deep threat, and he has the ability to stretch defenses, creating opportunities for other receivers and the running game. If he's healthy and motivated, Watkins could be an X factor for the Eagles' offense, especially in critical moments late in games where a big play can tip the scales. Plus, his familiarity with the team's system means he wouldn't need much time to get back up to speed if re-signed. But it's not just about Watkins. The fact that the Eagles are doing this kind of talent evaluation underscores their commitment to competing at the highest level. They're always looking to upgrade, always trying to find that missing piece that could elevate their roster from good to great. And with the division getting tougher, the Cowboys, the Commanders, and the Giants all making moves, Philadelphia knows they can't afford to stand still. Every move, every workout, every signing could be the difference between another deep playoff run or an early exit. Now, let's talk about the broader context. The NFC East has always been one of the most competitive divisions in the NFL, and last season was no exception. The Cowboys and Giants have strengthened their rosters, and the Commanders are always lurking with their own set of talented players. For the Eagles, maintaining their dominance means continuously evaluating talent and making smart decisions. The potential re-addition of Watkins could be part of that puzzle, giving Jalen Hurts another reliable weapon and providing the team with the depth needed for a long season. And think about the impact of this move on the locker room. Philadelphia has built a culture of resilience, talent, and smart football. Bringing Watkins back, if it happens, would send a message that the team values familiarity and is willing to give players second chances if they can contribute. It's also a sign that the Eagles are not complacent. They're actively seeking ways to improve, even in the offseason. That kind of mindset is what keeps them at the top of the NFC and makes them a perennial contender. Of course, there are questions. Will Watkins fit into the team's plans? How much does he still have in the tank? Can he stay healthy and consistent? Those are questions only time will answer. But the fact that he's even back in the conversation for a potential return speaks volumes about his talent and the team's interest. It's a story worth following, especially as we get closer to training camp and the start of the season. Every move the Eagles make now could be a piece of their championship puzzle. Looking ahead, Philadelphia fans should be optimistic. The team's front office, led by Howie Roseman, has a proven track record of making shrewd moves, whether it's drafting well, finding underrated players, or making strategic signings. Reuniting with Watkins could be one of those low-risk, high-reward moves that pays dividends later in the season. Plus, it's always exciting to see familiar faces return, especially when they've had a taste of success here before. Watkins knows the city, the fans, and the system, which could give him an edge if he gets back into Eagles green. And let's not forget, the NFL offseason is always unpredictable. Just when you think everything is set, a new player, a new move, or a surprise workout can change everything overnight. The Eagles are clearly staying proactive, and that's a good sign for fans who want their team to stay ahead of the curve. With the NFC East getting more competitive each year, Philadelphia's ability to adapt and improve will be crucial. And if Watkins does make a return, it adds another layer of intrigue and excitement for what's to come. So, Eagles fans, what do you think about this potential reunion? Do you believe Quez Watkins can rediscover his form and become a key piece again? Or do you think the team is just exploring options and might look elsewhere? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your opinions, and your insights help build this community. Remember, the NFL is always full of surprises, and the Eagles are no exception. They're a team that's constantly evolving, always aiming for that ultimate goal, another Super Bowl. And with moves like this, they're showing they're ready to fight for it once again. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. We're in this together, and every piece of information, every move, brings us closer to understanding what this team has in store for us. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Birds!